Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. This is our second set of alternative cards. And this time around, I'm combining the Paper Pumpkin Fall For Toile, and we're bringing in the coordinating Autumn Toile Suite Collection that's in the Holiday Mini. And these go great together. I have some good alternatives for you. And again, go back to Tuesday's video, leave a comment there, and then leave one on this one too for this month's drawing. And if you do leave a comment on both videos, I'll toss your name in the hat twice and pull it, we'll get a winner next week or next month when October's kit comes out. But Jackie Rogers get a hold of me for July, and then Becky White get a hold of me for August. So for these, let me get these to you first. These are some club cards, like I said, lots of things that you can do with this suite collection. There's a die cut, I'll cut that out separately. Did some coloring here and here, it's kind of playing around. I'll be sure to get these out to you. And then these were, let's see, this is one of our alternatives that we did on Tuesday. And then here is another one. And there is the last one. And then the kit cards that we made are, oh, that's stuff going on here. These right here. And that came right out of the kit. So I'm going to take you through the suite collection real quick because there's, we're going to dive into this as the season progresses. But next week, I kind of want to get to Halloween a little bit. Because when I was doing these alternatives, there's ways that you can cut things to make it a lot easier on you. But in this suite collection, you get this ribbon here. It's not necessarily ribbon. It's more of kind of like a braid. What are they calling it? Yeah, a weave trim. And it is stiff. It's not bow friendly, but it's good to like wrap presents with. And then we get these streaked dots, little embellishments. You get 2 stamp sets, great line art in here. If you like to color, paint, or anything like that. You get this embossing folder, and it's great for scrapbookers because it is on the larger side. And then you get all these dies. And this frame die cuts, I know I got one right behind me. Like this, okay? It's just a frame, it's really, really pretty. And then you have all these huge die cuts over here. This is kind of like mimic flowers on this tree here, but when you cut this, you have to cut it out together because that way you get the detail. And, whoops, it'll be like this detail all in here. So, that, and you want to run it through a couple times. That's one thing that I learned just by playing around with this a little bit more. And, then we'll go through the paper real quick. And of course, I've hacked that up a little bit, a lot. So we get 3 sheets of each. And remember, this, was in the card kit as a card base. Then we have this great mossy meadow here. Got this pattern, got a little pumpkin patch, and that's the flip side. Then this little fox was in our kit right there. And in one of our alternatives earlier. And that is the flip side. Then you get like this metallic brown foil, which is really, really cool. So that is what that suite collection is looking like there. Okay, for our first card, I have an early espresso card base. I just took this piece of basic beige out of my stash. It was already embossed. I thought, why not use it up? Measurements, everything like that will be over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. There's a link directly to the blog post in this YouTube description. So I think the first thing I want to do is I'm going to grab this Autumn Wishes sentiment right here. And then this is going to be our image panel. And I am just going to grab my early espresso and kind of create my own background a little bit. Just kind of randomly put that on there. Kind of careful-ish because you don't want your ink going over your stamp, like on the edge there. So I'm like really careful about that. Like not pressing too hard, but I know that my pad's kind of juicy, so I'm okay. So we just got, you know, a little teeny tiny bit of randomness there. I get a little bit over here. Oh, why not be consistent, right? And I think I'm good. I'm going to set that aside for a second. And then just ink up those edges a teeny tiny bit. So I have a small blending brush here. You know, just for something different, because I don't do this very often. And just, you know, go on the edges there. And that just gives it, you know, a little bit of dimension, which is kind of fun. And we're going to go all the way around that. So I think I have some really good cards for you here. You know, if I get really ambitious this week or next week or whenever, I might throw together a scrapbook page. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to leave this open for a second so we can get the sentiment down. And then when you lay this on top, I mean, it just jumps out. It looks really, really pretty. I'm going to set that aside, and then we have a piece of basic beige cardstock. And let me get my stamp set here. So I want to pop that in. You just need a scrap. And let's see, right about there, get it evened up. And I want to give myself some room with this one a little bit. Just like slice it off down there if I have to, and then tuck the my left side. I'm going to see if that's straight. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to bring back in that early espresso ink. I don't feel like I'm getting good coverage right there for some reason. Okay. I'm going to lay that down and just let it set for a second while I close up the ink pad and wipe off a ton of ink on my shorts here. And get that down. And you know what? I'm going to lay it down one more time. But in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I'm just going to let it, you know, let the ink soak in because paper is porous. I am going to grab my adhesive and like put together this card just a little bit. So I want to get that down. And I really hope I'm not out of glue. It's probably just clogged. Yeah. So I'm on my last like week of steroids, and hopefully this will never happen again because, oh, I hate those things. So we are going to get this down, and it's going to be like 1/8 of an inch. It's going to be a little bit tight fit because I wanted it that way. And then I don't think I'm going to put this on dimensionals at all. Let's go ahead and get some liquid adhesive on the back of that panel. And then that's going to go down top to bottom, left and right. Just get it nice and centered there. And that is it for, it's not it for that card, but you know what I mean. For that part of it. I'm going to set this aside. Happy with that. I need to get this cleaned up. And this out of the way. And I'm thinking about cutting this down just a little bit more, but I'm not sure yet. I need to see how everything adds up over here. So I'm going to pull this back. I know I'm going to have to, wow. Yeah, see, this always happens to me. Let's get rid of this right now. Because I'm at a point where I don't have a choice. And I might snip this down just a little bit. Okay, I know I want that there. I'm going to do something really super easy with this. Because you want to be able to read the sentiment, you know. I have like really smudgy hands right now, and this was bound to happen. But I'm going to ignore it before I make it worse. I'll fix it later. You'll see it in the picture, it'll be fixed. So I want to get this down, and probably need a couple stamped initials on the back of that. So I'm going to pop 2 down here at this end, because I want to be able to cut this a little bit more if I have to. And see where I'm going with this. Okay, that's good. So I need a point of reference right there, which is going to be that A. And I am going to pop that down like right about... I'm going to get this over to the very corner, like that. And then pull the stamped initials off the back of... Now this is from the kit, and this is the only thing I brought in from the kit, was this cluster of leaves here. Oh man, I hate it when this happens. Okay, that is how I wanted to get it, because you can still see, and it'll still be able to get tucked into an envelope, okay? And I know I'm at a wonky angle right now. Okay, that is good. And I did do like a little bow. I'm not sure if I want to put that there or not, because I'm not a bow person. How about let's swing it? Yeah, I got to do something that looks kind of boring. I am going to grab a really big glue dot and just sneak it in underneath there. Get that backing off of it. Pop that down. Scissors. And we're just going to get this snipped a little bit. And let's just go ahead and grab a baby one. A baby little dot. And how about right there? And that is going to be it for our Suite Collection alternatives with this month's Paper Pumpkin. And now we're going to move to card number 2. Okay, for card number 2, simple, easy. I have a couple colors here. We're going to do an A2 landscape, very vanilla, thick card base. And then I cut a piece down to, this is Timid Tiger. Oh, let's see, 4 by 5 1/4. And then this one, I believe these two are like 1 7/8 by, but you know, again, don't worry about the measurements because they'll be over on the blog. But if you're doing this with me, yeah, 1 7/8 by maybe 4 and 5. 1 7/8 by 5. Each of those. And then I went ahead and grabbed this card front here from the kit and this Timid Tiger envelope. And I have the stamp set right in front of me. Okay. And the steer. And so I went ahead and took early espresso ink and then stamped it onto this, you know, making sure everything was, my orientation was right. And then I did the same thing for these two. This is Timid Tiger, so I went ahead and stamped it in Cajun Craze and then took the coordinating die cut and cut it all out. I just thought that was kind of different and fun and just something, neat to do. Okay, so yeah, that's the deer. I am going to, we need to get a sentiment down here, right down there at the very bottom. And this one's going to be really, really easy. The only thing that I brought in from the kit was this piece of ribbon. Other than that, we're just, doing it. This is not from the kit either. This is actually from our 2025 to 2027 in color 6x6 designer series paper. And so I cut that down, and I'm going to use that for my sentiment panel. We're just going to pop that like right about there because I don't want it too low. I'm going to pull the lid, make sure I got it straight. I did. And then now I'm going to bring back in that early espresso. And I'm not sure if you can see this over here or not. Ink that up real quick and lay it down. You know, might do it just a couple times. Yeah, I'm good. When I can see the ink kind of juicy on there, that's, you know, the angle, that's when you know you're good. So I am going to go ahead and just get this cleaned up here. Let that dry a little bit. Because we, you know, brown can be fussy, okay? And that's how I got the smear on the first card that we did, which I fixed, and that is what we're looking like. So you'll see that in the picture and everything. And you know what? I don't like doing this on screen because it's noisy. Hopefully I'll remember to knock it out. I do want to take this over to, the side real quick and just heat set that. So give me a second. Okay, I got that down. So the next thing I want to do, not down, but you know, I'm comfortable playing with it now. I'm just gonna put some liquid adhesive on the back of this and get that down. You know, this is gonna be maybe like another one of those tight fits, but not too bad. And I've got that ribbon in there too, just in case. So we laid that down. And then I embossed this with that Gathering Together embossing folder there out of Very Vanilla Regular. And again, our cardstock is, I need some more glue, is Timid Tiger. So is that going to go right up against there? I might have to not cheat it, you know what I mean? Gave myself a little wiggle room there. And then this ribbon from the kit that is going to be used to cover that up. And yeah, getting the tape off here can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But it is done. And I am going to just get that across there as even as I can. And whoa, that is going to have to do. I don't think, am I going to put this on dimensionals? No, I am not. I'm going to go ahead and just get this adhered down to the card base. And then I'm going to need some new glue really soon. And that's going to go top to bottom, left to right. Okay. And that is what we are looking like. And you know, from here on out, all I'm going to do, I might put down like one of those little dots. So I have 3 brown and then 2 of the Timid Tiger. And I am just going to pop that guy down right there in the middle. And then get my other 2, line them up on the other side. And then that will give me a good idea where to put the Timid Tiger deer. You could, if you wanted to, you know what? Maybe we should fit in 2 more. Let's see how this looks. Because I cut more than I needed to. But, you know, it could be crowded too at the same time. I don't know. I think I'm going to do that. But you know what? Maybe keep them a little bit closer together. So it's not so spread out. Yeah, that's kind of getting heavy up there. And you know, with the same pattern and color going across, it would have gotten maybe a little bit too busy. Okay, so we have this. I'm just going to pop that right about... I'm trying to keep the feet even on the bottom here. Yeah, that looks much better. And one more, and then I have, oh man. You know what? Let's just go ahead and pop him on the inside there. So I take the dimensionals off of that and forgot it. So let's go ahead and get this little guy down right about there, and I'm looking pretty even, left and right. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to put anything on here. I like the simplicity of this. I'm sure it'd be cute, but I just think that's really simple. So that is card number 2. Let's get on to card number 3. So for card number 3, I went ahead and cut 3 trees out of our dies. This is from the kit, not the kit dies, the Autumn Toile Suite Collection dies. This is from a card front of the kit. And then I went ahead and cut one in Timid Tiger. This is Early Espresso. I had this just laying on my desk. This is cut from Very Vanilla Regular out of a Spotlight on Nature die. And then we have Occasion Craze card base. And I went ahead and cut our image panel down to, oh, let's see, 4 3/8 by, no. I'll have the measurements for you. I know I'm going to do 2 trees down here, but I wasn't sure of if I wanted to use the Early Espresso tree or this tree, because I saw this last second, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to cut it out and see how it looks. I'll put together there, like so far what I have in my brain. I like the Early Espresso one better. So we're going to set that aside. But one thing I do want to do is we want to take our Timid Tiger tree, and I want to grab this little image from the stamp set that's in the Suite Collection. Let's stamp that off once. I'm going to put it down there because that's going to be covered a little bit. Okay. That way, you know, just give some texture to it a little bit. And you can do this in any color that you want. Okay, I am good with that. Now for our sentiment here, this is also from the kit, by the way. And our sentiment is going to be from the kit. So I have done, you know, like I said, I try to get these mixing and matching really well. Oh, we're gonna do that in this. So this is from the kit here. And I know I've got, I want to get that lined up just right. I know I've got the pumpkins here. So I want to get this right about up here as much as I can. Okay, but before I do that, I do want to grab this little acorn, and that's from the kit as well. And that was pecan pie. Stamp it up, or, you know, get a good impression off once and then down right there. You know, just for a little bit of highlight and shadow there. Now I want to grab my Early Espresso and then go ahead and get our sentiment over here inked up. And that is going to go right on top. Oh man, I hope that's straight. If not, I'll do another one, and you know, the pictures will work out. I think we're okay. So I'm going to get that down. And I'm happy with that impression. So I want to clean everything up real quick here and let that dry too, because you know how I'm about browns and I don't, want any smears, since everything is working out okay so far, right? Let's just go ahead and get these on, and then I'll let it dry by itself as we adhere those trees down. So I put mini black Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, and these pumpkins are from the kit. I'm just going to put it like right about there. Just a cute little accent. Going to get everything put away here. I might have to snip the bottom of this tree off. At least that's because I've been playing with this a little bit, and I might have to do that so everything hides underneath there. So let's put this guy down here at an angle on our card. Yeah, I got new glue next to me. I just gotta get it opened. And this is gonna stay down fine no matter what. Okay, so let's get that one. Right about there. Now I do know I want Stampin' Dimensionals on part of this because this is going to go on Stampin' Dimensionals. So we're going to tilt that one over there a little bit, bring it down. And I'm going to I'm okay with that early espresso over there. I'm not okay with the orange. So I am just going to eyeball it one more time. Pull that down right here. Okay, might as well just do this too while I'm at it. Okay, I want to put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this tree here. So I am going to grab my black ones and just pop a few of these down on here. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, feel free to hit like and subscribe, share, sign up for my newsletter if you would like. And leave a comment as far as what you want to see in the future. But next week we're definitely doing Halloween. Okay, I have our card base there. I'm going to layer this on. And then figure out where I need to put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that sentiment. Because you want everything balanced. I think. I'm not pressing it down yet. Oh, I'm good. Okay, so for this, probably just like 2 over here on this side. And then for the rest, I just have those things. I can go ahead and use a little bit of liquid adhesive. Now this one, I'm not going to put anything on. I think that there's, excuse me, enough texture and everything in there. Lots of subtle texture. And I'm going to put the glue on this way. And pop that right about there. You know what? I'm going to put a couple dots on, I think. And we are done with that card. Yeah, I need a dot or two. So let's get one there. It's a small, medium, large. It just looks like small and large. Man, I don't know where. Normally, I'm really good about this. Oh, forget it. Let's just go ahead and pop another one down. And then we are good. Okay, so this is card number 3 of our second batch of alternatives right there. And then we made this for card number 2 with those cute little deer up there. And then for card number 1, we brought in more kit contents and everything. So don't forget to leave a comment. And, again, let me see what you want me to cover in the future. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll do Halloween next Tuesday. And I will see you again the next time.